Hello and welcome to day 2. I must take my AirPods out because I do not need them anymore. That's one part of the afternoon, or one part of my job finished now, and on to another part. And I'm really excited for this because for a few reasons. I'm really excited for it because of the outpouring of positive emotion that we felt from day 1. Is a real buzz. We opened one of our groups, which is called the 7 Levels of Awareness Masterclass. Now, we're going to be doing a masterclass around the 22nd of, it's Sunday, the 22nd of February, Sunday, the 22nd of November. And that masterclass is called it's called the 7 Levels of Awareness Masterclass, the 7 Levels of Awareness. Now, it's a group, it's in a Facebook group. So contact your success advisor. You might be watching this now in the 7 Levels of Awareness Master class group, and you're like, what's he talking about? But there are other people who are viewing day 1 and day 2 on YouTube. On another group we had called Thoughts Become Things, another group we had called the Vibration and Attraction Masterclass. And of course, our darling friends are watching it as well over in the Academy, which, by the way, I must just log into very quickly. So within a few days, I am going to be closing this down. I'm going to be closing down a lot of the groups, and everybody has to shift over to the 7 Levels of Awareness masterclass group, and that's where you can see all of them. If you're on YouTube, same thing. We're going to be hosting this in 2 places. One is in our Academy, and that's for people who are fully enrolled members of the Academy. They've been with us for months and months, or they're just starting out. And the second place you're going to be able to view this is in the 7 Levels of Awareness Masterclass group. Now, the second thing I want to say is I would like also to say that you have somebody who's assisting you throughout this. If you're in the Academy, you already have everything you need. But if you're somebody who is just new to what we do, you just found us through Instagram or TikTok or advertising, or somebody somewhere has shared that this company is doing the magic book for 28 days and you've joined in, well, you're automatically associated with one of our team. We have on Sunday we opened the group, and now we've got like 212 people. So it's absolutely impossible for me to contact everyone or be in touch with everyone. So we've got a wonderful group of success advisors that help you individually and take care of you throughout the 28 days. Each of them are doing a weekly meetup on Zoom. So it'll be your success advisor and the people that they're helping just getting together and talking about the week you've had. We've already seen messages going in of, I already felt better from doing day 1 and the magic practice and all that. So it's going to be great for you guys to meet up once a week. I think they're doing a call every week. So it's going to be about 4 calls throughout the 28 days. And I think that's top class. And, they're always thinking about how to serve better. So I say thank you to them. Okay, so let's see now. We're going to go on here to another thing I want to do is I want to also say a massive gratitude to the following people, to Nullig and John and Dee and Sinead and to Aggie as well. So these are people, and Sharon, these are people who are in the Academy, and I got to speak with them today in our coaching calls. And I want to say thank you because the paradigm that was there, it seemed to be spreading throughout all of them. Orla as well. I got a message from Orla this morning as well. The theme today, it's only 1 o'clock, but before, it was 2 minutes to 9, I was in this office finishing up my study, and I got a voice note from Orla, a lovely lady in County Cork. And this woman has like broken through into a new level of awareness. I didn't do it, or some of our success advisors didn't do it. Bob Proctor didn't do it. She did it. She felt the fear and did it anyway. She could have just said, you know what, it's tough. But her goal and her passion and her energy and her spirit is greater than her limiting beliefs. And we don't walk in front of people with a machete, like slashing through the jungle saying, come on, this is the way. And we don't walk behind them, pushing them. We walk beside people and say, look, this is what you're going through. This is why most people bounce off that wall and they go away and they go, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, sure, I'm never going to get any luck. But this is what's necessary for you right now. This is what you need right now to get there. I talked to one lady and she just told me, she goes, I could have throttled you that day. And I know that, but it wasn't her because she wouldn't harm a fly. But when you rattle someone's paradigm and you push against it a little bit, it gets them a bit, and they either go one way or the other. And like, 100% of people go that way because they have a goal, they have a passion, they are going after something that they want more than their limiting beliefs. That's how this house of mine became my goal when I was a student of this material with Bob. You'll set something in front of you that lights a fire within you. A lot of people, as I said yesterday, you fall into a proper study of personal development, not because there's something wrong with you, but because there's something very right with you, and you're not quenching that inner desire with an addiction or with an argument or with worry. You're letting that inner desire out, and you're expressing it through goal setting and action taking. And it's very misunderstood, but it's very easy. And if this was taught in schools, the world would be the way I think the good Lord wanted it to be. If everybody was getting clear on what they want, writing it down on paper, and doing something every day towards its achievement, it would just be amazing. We'd achieve more in a year probably than we have done in the last 3 or 4 decades, and for good as well, because the first thing that we do is we get people to start working on what's called a worthy ideal. And a worthy ideal is an idea that you have fallen in love with. So Sharon, who I spoke to, her idea is hers, and Aggie's is hers, Orla's is hers, Nullig's is his. Everybody has their goals, their missions, their wants, their dreams, but it's theirs. And the empowering part is that it has come to them, to them only, to bring it to life, So there's 2 things that I think really make this whole process easier. And I did it the hard way, I can tell you, so that I've learned to do it the easy way. I know the opposites. The hard way is forcing. Forcing is like when you get 2 magnets and you try to put them together and they're like repelling each other. You turn the magnet around and stick. You put the 2 poles together and they're like the 2 negatives or positives, and they'll just bounce off each other. Like, it's very hard to push them together. That magnetic force of repulsion, like, it just pushes away. And then there's the magnetic force of it'll stick right to you. You can push away beautiful things when you're forcing. When you get relaxed and when you get grateful, you become like an attraction factor. You change your vibrational resonance. The law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration is the primary law. So when you change your vibration, you'll attract what you want to you. That's how it works. That's why so many people say, "Oh, it doesn't work. I read the book, watch the video." They didn't change their vibration whatsoever. So your own things that you do for relaxation, nature, earthing, swimming, sitting down and listening to your child as they're like painting your face, or whatever it is you can do to connect to peace and serenity and relaxation, do it. For some people, it's going out getting their blow dry and they don't want anyone to talk to. Just don't talk to me. Just blow dry hair. That's like, I've heard that said a few times. Instead of like, "Where are you going on your holidays?" Just shush and let me have my relaxation. I've heard that recently from a few people, actually, that time at the hair salon is their time to relax. Whatever it is for you, take care of your own relaxation. It's vital. I mean, what is life if we can't just relax? But gratitude, oh my God, gratitude is just magic. I didn't even think of that when I said the name of the book, but it really is. And if you have felt even the slightest shift after day 1, that's normal. It is normal for things to really change fast when you get into gratitude. In fact, every one of our clients have these goal cards, and the line says, "I am so happy and grateful now that." I'm grateful, and gratitude is huge. So let's skedaddle on to day 2. My children went for a little walk earlier on, and they went and got me my rock. Okay, so a little rock, a little pebble about that size, something that you can have for day 2. Okay, so for day 1, just to reflect on day 1, you count your blessings. So you should have done that again this morning for day 2, or maybe you're going to do it in the afternoon or in the evening. By the way, I think the morning is a great way to set yourself up, put yourself in a great vibration, do your gratitude in the morning. Lovely way to set your day up. Everyone's going to come up for breakfast going, "What's got into you?" It'll be fresh muffins on the table, and it'll be like the Stepford wives or Stepford husbands. Everything will be just perfect because you're in great form. So first thing in the morning, well, actually, yeah, Rhonda Byrne says it as well. First thing in the morning, make a list of 10 things you're grateful for. Write why you are grateful for each blessing. Then go back and read your list, either in your mind or out loud. And at the end of each one, say the magic words 3 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Repeat the first 3 steps of this magic practice every morning for the next 27 days. So today is day 2. And then read tomorrow's magical practice. So we did. Yesterday we started looking at what was ahead of us, which is the magic rock. And there we have it. And now I'm going to read a little about it today. And then we're going to look at the exercise involved. And then we'll conclude day 2. And then we'll come on to day 3. So what I'd like, while you're listening along, I always like people to pay attention and listen in. But I'd love, for the sake of everybody who's doing this together as a community, I'd love to see some comments here of people who, how are you feeling after day 1 and after starting day 2? Let's pop it in the chat here and get some feedback from you guys. Okay. So for the magic rock, what they want us to do is, we'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, let's read it. In the beginning of working with these practices, it takes concentrated days in a row to make gratitude a habit. Anything that reminds you to be grateful is helping you to turn your life into gold with gratitude. And that's exactly what this magical practice is all about. Lee Breuer presented the gratitude rock practice in the movie The Secret, when he told us the story of a father of a dying child who used the gratitude rock to be grateful for his son's health. And his son made a miraculous recovery. Since then, the gratitude rock has been a proven success with many people the world over who have used it for money, for healing, and for happiness. First, find a rock or a stone. Choose a small size that fits in the palm of your hand and that you can close your fingers around it. Choose a rock that is smooth, without sharp edges, not too weighty, and that feels really good in your hand when you hold it. You can find a magic rock from your garden, if you have one, from a riverbed, a creek, an ocean, or a park. If you didn't have easy access to any of these places, then ask your neighbors, family, friends. You might even have a previous rock or a stone that you've already used. When you have found the magic rock, put it by your bedside, in a place where you will definitely see it when you go to bed. Clear some space that's necessary so that you can easily find your magic rock when you go to bed. If you use an alarm clock, put it next to your alarm clock. I remember a lady became a client of mine in January 2020. And a few weeks later, we had this old thing happening. Do you know, this old virusy thing? Do you ever hear that? Anyway, it happened. And I know for a fact, if she knew that there was a global lockdown coming, that she probably would not have progressed and invested in herself to join the academy. She did, and by May, her company was doing 5 times its normal income. But by Christmas that year, it was gone to 15 times. And one of the things that I did during lockdown was the magic book. And she did it along with us, even though she already had plenty to do in the academy. She did it as well. And I remember her talking about the whole ceremony around the magic rock, going to bed at night and holding the magic rock and being grateful for what's happened. So it is a very important practice. So tonight, every one of us here, before we get into bed and go to sleep, we're going to pick up these rocks. We're going to hold it in our hand and close our fingers around it. And then we're going to think back really carefully through all the good things that have happened throughout the day. So what was that? Here, this is for you, Mary T. There was 3 lovely lassies from Kennett. There's a lady who follows our masterclass, Mary T, and she's like, I'm always singing. There were 3 lovely ladies this morning, Rita and Maggie and Adele. And I asked them to move because they booked calls between 1 and 2, long before we came up with the idea for the 28 days of gratitude at 1 o'clock. I asked the 3 of them, would they move between 2 and 3? No problem, all 3 of them. So I'm going to go to bed tonight and I'm going to be like, I'm so grateful for the kindness of the 3 ladies to move their calls from between 1 and 2 to 2 to 3. I'm so grateful for the effort that I see Laura and Ernestine putting into making our next masterclass superb. I'm so grateful for everyone who's collaborating with them. I'm grateful for the safe passage that my wife had from here to Tralee and back. I'm so grateful that the children put on their high-vis vests, walked along the Strand, climbed the Valentia Bridge, walked over to Port McGee to get me a little rock for my gratitude practice. And they're grateful for what are they eating? Maltesers and minstrels and jelly tots. So they're grateful for Dad for the few quid for that as well. So tonight when you're in bed, be grateful. Just scan back throughout the day and start being grateful for all the things that you've had that have happened. Think back carefully to all the good things that happened throughout the day and find the best thing that happened that you're grateful for, and then say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened. Return the magic rock to its place by your bed, and that's it. Practice is done. So every night for the next 26 nights, you're going to follow the same process. Into bed, grab the rock, be grateful for what's gone on during the day. Using a rock seems like such a simple thing to do, but through this practice, you're going to see magical things begin to happen in your life. When you look for the best thing that happened during the day, you will search through many good things that have happened to pick which one is the best. And that is really powerful, because you'll hear like, yeah, I believe we get what we think about all day long. Yeah, I believe that thoughts become things. And when you start doing this, you can see how many good things are happened. And it's almost like, I remember, for those of you who are in the Galway area, I was living in Athenry when I started first getting into personal development in a proper, with coaching and accountability and a community and all that. And I called a couple of friends of mine in Cork, and I said, I think I've discovered the meaning of life. And they texted me back, and they were like, whatever you're smoking up in Galway, he said, send some down to Cork. That was the funny thing. But I remember I was in a pub in Athenry called Glyn's. It's a small little pub in the corner. And I had a fantastic Guinness, and the golf was on. So I was like my two sisters in Brown Thomas with a €500 gift card, like happy fucking days, So I'm sitting there having a pint of Guinness. And it really hit me that, are we kind of given 50% happiness and 50% sadness? And the reason we're here is to figure out how to be happy. Is that it? And I don't know, it just hit me that the more I focused on the good things from watching Bob on YouTube, and the more I started focusing on my wants and my desires and my dreams, I became totally unaware of difficulties, problems, aches and pains in my body, sleeplessness, sinus, everything seemed to go away. And I was like, that's mad. And I gave it a while, and every night, I mean, it's discipline, and it's focus, and it's experience, and it feels like mastery after a while. And it just started to rock and roll. It just started to become, as Neville Goddard says in this book, the effortless way. It became effortless. And I was like, this is the meaning of life. Human beings we're meant to figure this out and pass it on to our kids. That's what it's about, So the magic rock, when you're lying in bed at night and you're trying to scan through your whole day and you're trying to go, oh, what's happened? What happened that was good between 7 and 9? Okay, so getting up in the morning and seeing that the two puppies hadn't made any kind of a mess in the utility room, I'm grateful for that. Grateful for the coffee, which was sent to me by Megan Casey. Grateful for June having a little sleep in with one of our children so they wouldn't come up and disturb my study. Grateful for the calls I had with all the clients. Grateful for the lovely turkey sandwich I had before this call. You start scanning over all the things you're grateful for. Like, my mom and dad rang me about something. That's a huge thing. Like, that my mom and dad are here, they're alive, they're with us, they want to support me and June and my children. You can find so much to be grateful for. And your rock at nighttime gets you to scan through, and we can so easily forget about all the good things that happened in spite of that one thing that went against us, and catastrophize that one thing. Like, my children walked over a very busy bridge, safe and sound. They're home, they're in the couch, they're watching TV, so that's so good to be grateful for. Like, if God forbid, if even if one of them fell and cut themselves and we were there now having to dress the cut and whatever, that'd be kind of what, when you're not training your mind for positivity, you'd be focused on this one bad thing. And if there's a crossword between you and your spouse, that takes over the whole day. And you're not aware of how you've been cradled throughout the rest of the day, and so loved and supported and cared for and thought well of. And you're in clothing, you have a bed to sleep on, the things that we take for granted. I remember taking Layla at 5 years of age to Anfield, to Liverpool. And we stayed in a hotel, which was it was in a new street, like a new up and coming place, but it's still a bit run down. And there was an awful lot of people sleeping rough. And I remember every night you had to bring your own food into this hotel. It was just one of those Formula One hotels. You check in, pay the money, and go to your bedroom, and that was it. So we had a pretty run of the mill hotel. But on that street, there was people in every door. And every night then we get 2 bags. We'd go to a Tesco Express, I think it was 24 hours. And we'd go in, and I'd fill one bag and Layla fill the other. And I didn't care what you put into it. I was going to go up and pay for it, and we'd give it to people. So every night we were giving bags of food to people. And I thought that was lovely for a 5-year-old girl to see. And it really had an impact on her about how lucky she is. And she doesn't waste food. She goes, because I know she's 11 now, so she wouldn't appreciate this impersonation. But she goes, because I know there are people who don't have a bed to sleep in, Daddy. It's powerful. And all of us grown-ups, the people that we're grown-ups, aren't we? We are, right? We're all mature and we're all knowing. And we take it all for granted until you do something like this magic practice, okay? So today, count your blessings and do your magic rock practice. 2 days would change your life. If you count your blessings every day, reread them, say why you're grateful for them, reread them, and say thank you 3 times. And then at night, when you go to bed in the morning, scan through the day and think about all the good things that happened and pick your favorite one. Count your blessings, and the magic rock will ensure that you begin and end your days in a state of gratitude. In fact, they are so powerful that together they will change your life in a few months. That's actually what I just said, Rhonda, but thank you for stealing my line. But this book is designed to change your life really, really fast through an abundance of magical practices, because gratitude is magnetic and it attracts more things to be grateful for. The concentration of gratitude over the 28 days is going to intensify the magnetic force of your gratitude. When you have a strong magnetic force of gratitude, like magic, you automatically magnetize everything you want and need to you. The magic reminder is, be sure to read tomorrow's magical practice sometime today, because you're going to need to collect some photographs for this. So let's summarize day 2, and then we'll look at day 3 together. So, and by the way, there will be times where this is short and sweet, and it will not probably be an hour every day and that type of thing. So just understand that, be prepared for that. We won't just stretch it out for the sake of it. There's no point. If we've finished our thing, we go about it and we go on, and we actually go on and live our life in gratitude. People, before the magic book, people used to say to me, and even since I've read it a few times, I recommend the book, but Declan, what's your gratitude practice? I was like, I live it. I live gratitude. Honestly, if when the children used to wake at night with teething or with wind or whatever, I'd be like, I used to be up this late, drunk in some student house. I'm up late because my child I've been so lucky to have, it's got teething problems. Big deal. Get over yourself, So I live gratitude as much as I can, even if I'm having a bad day, or if there's a very bad situation happening in my own little family or an extended family. I can see, I'm grateful for the views, for my ability to see the views with my eyesight. It's always there, and that's I hope that becomes like in your bloodstream as well. It's really good. So, and that's an understatement. It's more than good. It's life enhancing. Magic practice number 2. Repeat the steps 1 to 3 of the magic practice number 1. Count the blessings, make the list of 10, talk about why you're grateful, reread them, and then say thank you 3 times deeply at the end of each one. Number 2, find a magic rock, put it by your bedside. Before going to sleep tonight, hold the rock in your hand. Think of the best thing that happened today. Think of lots of good things that happened today and pick the best one. Then say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened. Read the magic rock practice every night for 26 days, and now read tomorrow's magical practice today. So I'm going to do this now, if you shall permit me. Okay, tomorrow we're going to be talking about magical relationships. My wife would call that if, what's his name? What's that fella? If he came through the door, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, the guy from the Hangover. You know the guy. And he sang with your one. Tell me something, boy. Are you happy in this modern world? That fella. That's a magic relationship I'd say she'd like to have with you. What's his name? I bet you they'll come in the chat pretty quickly. Anyway, that fella. Magic practice number 3. Magical relationships. Bradley Cooper. I knew you'd be in there quickly. So magic practice number 3. What you're going to be doing, what we're going to be talking about tomorrow is magical relationships. So we're going to be choosing 3 photographs of our closest relationship and select a photograph from each person. Now, my old friend Ricky, he's an Aussie, and we used to room share in Toronto together when we go training with Bob. And I didn't really realize it. So it was one night we were sitting in the lobby, and we had a couple of sherries on board, and we call our wives. And his was in Noosa in New South Wales, and mine was obviously here in Valencia, in Portmagee or Valencia at the time. And I'd ring, and we were on the phone, and he was like, June, he said, I have to tell you about Declan. The first thing he does, he puts a suitcase on the bed. And I was like, where's he going with this? And he was like, and he takes out photographs and he puts them up on the headboard. And I was like, I never realized I did that. And I do. And last week on Monday and Tuesday, I went away for a couple of nights. Look at this. Bradley Cooper, Bradley Cooper, Bradley Cooper, Bradley Cooper. Get over it, girls. All right. We know who he is now. Okay. You can stop typing his name into my laptop. Okay. It's hard enough as it is to see his name. Noel Moran, what are you doing? They put delete. But anyway, so yeah, I went away for 2 nights last week, and sure enough, a picture of June and a picture of the 3 children up on, just stick them on my locker or on the headboard. That's what you got to do. Choose 3 of your closest relationships and collect a photograph of each person with the photo in front of you. Now, don't not do this. Do this. Don't miss one day. Don't kind of just, all right, look at it in my phone. You know, okay, maybe you can do it in your phone, but do this right. You know, don't skip this one. With the photo in front of you, write down 5 things that you're most grateful for this person. So you can go into their Facebook, whatever, and hold a picture of them up there, or you know, you might have a picture taken with them over the years. And then write down 5 things that you're most grateful for about every person in your journal or on your computer, as Rhonda says. But I think that the hand and the writing is the way to go. Excuse me. Begin each sentence with the magic words, thank you. So I would say, let's say, for example, we saw a lovely picture earlier on of Megan with one of our beautiful clients. And I could say, Megan, thank you so much for all the care and attention that you give to people before, during, and after they study with us in the academy. Ernestine, thank you so much for, you know, caring so much about everybody in the academy. I could put down, Mom, thank you so much for all the times that I woke you in the middle of the night and you get up and help me out, and all my bad dreams and all my nightmares, and you were always there. You know, thanks for all the clothes and the washing of the clothes and the whole lot. You can put everything down. Thank you. I mean, how superficial is that? Mom, thank you for the life you've given to me. You know, like, it's really, really good. Then begin each sentence with the magic words, thank you. Now, carry the photographs with you today. So if you happen to do it with your phone, why not take 3 screenshots and then put them in a particular folder? Just call it magic, and then look at them throughout the day, because this is going to be tomorrow's one, by the way. Because what Rhonda Byrne wants us to do is to carry the 3 photographs with us, put them in a place that we'll see them, and look at them at least 3 more occasions. So if you fancy using the technology, then I would hold on the phone and I would just say, you know, like, hey Siri, set my alarm for 11 a.m., set an alarm for 1 p.m., set an alarm for 3 p.m. And maybe every 2 hours that you'll take the time to look at these photographs and really study them. So carry the photographs with you, put them in a place you'll see them, look at the photographs at least 3 occasions, and then speak to the person's face and thank them again for everything that you've done. Say, thank you, Melissa, or thank you, Rita, or thank you, Ruth, or whatever it will be. Before you go to sleep, take your magic rock in one hand and then say the magic words, thank you. So as you can see, after 3 days, imagine how much that's going to be. It's going to be wonderful. I'm sure there's going to be 3 photographs on many of these. It'll be Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper. Terrible, terrible. Okay, so now we have done day 2. Day 2 is the magic rock. You've got plenty to do now. Some of you need to go and take a cold shower, but more for everybody, you need to just go and get your magic rock and do day 1. And again, do day 2 with the 10 things you're grateful for, why you're grateful for them. List them and say thank you 3 times. And then that's day 2. And then we're going on to day 3 tomorrow. So one day at a time, sweet Jesus is another song for you, Mary T. So just, you did day 1 yesterday, well done. Day 2 today, and that's plenty. We'll go on to the photographs tomorrow, and we'll take it from there. So let's have a little read through some of these comments and flicking past some others pretty fast. All right. Hello, Simone. Good to see you. So happy and looking forward to day 2. Great to see you live here, Declan. Yes, Sunday, 21st of November is when the masterclass starts. That's right. Jessica's there. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. And Adele is here. Hey, Adele. Susan, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so grateful for some amazing people on a mastermind this morning. Indescribable was the feeling during and since. Support, encouragement, and fun. Go, Susan. You're a big inspiration to everybody. So this says Facebook user. I don't know who it is, but you can let me know. Yesterday, a neighbor left a gift at our front door for our first wedding anniversary next weekend. I thought it was a lovely start to the 28 days of gratitude. Being a blow-in to Kerry, I feel so grateful that I have this lovely couple to call for a cuppa and a chat. I miss calling my friends when I moved down first. Always list the academy in my gratitude list. Have a lovely day, everyone. Great to be here. Namaste. That's really good as well. So yeah, look, I mean, I use a facility called StreamYard, and it allows me to stream this into many places. So it just tells me, unless you've put your name in, it just says Facebook user. So I just want to say apologies. I know I'll have a look and see. Can I see who that is? I can't see who that is, so you can let me know who that is. Amanda says, feeling wonderful, that my day is going really well. Simone says, this really makes you think that you have so much more that you're aware of. Oh, completely. Oh, that was Claire. I think that was Claire. Someone said that there was such a lovely story for Claire. Yes, I think that's right. for me, counting my lessons really showed me just how much I've taken for granted. Isn't it? Isn't it unreal? So easy, so simple. I just knew when we made a decision to do this. I just knew. I was just like so blooming grateful for the idea that chose me, as you'll hear me saying. Like when I got the idea, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And the minute I said it to people, they were like, yep, this is it. Let's do it. So then, yes, there's a load of Bradley Coopers typed in here. We'll scroll past that. And then we go back here. Declan, you're a little bit jealous of June's magic relationship. Do you know what? I'm not at all. She's more than welcome to him. He's a good actor. He's a nice fella, I'd say. Um, uh, hey everyone, currently 35 weeks pregnant with a goal I had in last year's masterclass. My goal was to have a healthy baby boy to complete our family. We already have 2 healthy, happy little girls. He'll be here in time for Santa, and I'm already feeling more positive already. Well, that is just amazing news and a massive congratulations. And thank you for Lady Gaga, says somebody. I agree. Claudia, I'm so grateful to have attracted such an amazing group of people into my life, filled with so much love. Well, you've got quite an interesting story. Claudia won a helicopter ride 2 months ago, and then last month won like full membership for the Academy. So there's a lady who's definitely, the way I look at it is, I remember trying to explain this to my wife last night. She was like, you mentioned a Claudia before, didn't she win the helicopter thing? Yeah. And she won. I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's amazing. And I said, exactly. And, when people get results, like you heard me talk about this Orla lady who messaged me this morning, like there's laws, like, okay, this is a law of gravity. Here's my magic rock. The law of gravity decrees that anything that is heavier than air is pulled towards the surface or towards the center of the earth. It's not falling, it's being pulled by gravity. And there's laws. And if you are like Joni, who's learning to cycle, and you don't go with the laws of gravity, sometimes she stops and then falls over instead of keeping going. You're going to get hurt, or if you disobey the laws of gravity, or if you're ignorant in the ways of the laws of gravity and you step off something that's high, you're going to hurt yourself. If you're ignorant in the laws of what we teach, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, the law of polarity, the law of gender, if you're ignorant in how the laws work, you're probably getting hurt a little bit more than you need to. Like, who's the person that said there a moment ago, just from doing this practice, I realized how much I'm taking things for granted. And it's not meant to be heavy, but it does make you go, flipping hell. I could have been doing this all along. Like, even after the first few days, you're going to start feeling better, seeing things in a whole new light. And you're just going to want to shout it from the rooftops. And that's 3 days of doing a free challenge. Like, why out of 6 million people in Ireland are you 71 people here now? It starts to become very kind of magical. And again, I didn't mean that pun there, but it just is hard to believe. So with Claudia, that is like the feedback. As I said to Orla, it's great to say thanks to me, or maybe some of our team, Pan Kim, that she's working with as well. But ultimately, she's attracted the breakthrough. You get what you think about, but you get what you are. And she was more in harmony with the results that she wanted than she was with her limiting beliefs, or with her doubts, or her fears, or her worries. And Claudia, like, you have made a subconscious decision that you were going to win those 2 prizes, and you did. And I know people's like, I try that all the time for the lotto and I never do it, but it's probably so high up here. It's like, I'm so happy and grateful I won the lotto. I'm so happy and grateful. And it's not like, so happy and grateful I won the lotto, so I could start a charity that pays for like 3 beds for people with total physical and intellectual disability, or something where you can nearly cry thinking about it. That lady, she's like, I knew I'd be there. When you make a decision like that, I talked to another woman earlier on, and she started with us, let's say here. She was interviewed by us here, and now she's here. And I said, if you even look back to the woman that was interviewed, she's almost like so much more advanced than the person who started, but so much kind of more naive and more like mesmerized by the world than you are now. This woman feels like a rock now, just like solid, together, focused, making big decisions without a quiver. And when we first talked, there was, probably a lot of tears at the time, which is fine. You're figuring out that middle ground. Some people are extremely emotional, some people are very unemotional, and like figures and targets and stats and focus and discipline. And then some people are way over in the emotion. And what we do in the Academy is you kind of bring the introvert towards that extrovert, but not all the way over to the other side. Just coming to the middle so that you can keep the things you love about yourself, purify your mind, get rid of the junk that's not serving you, those repeated things that you probably picked up when you were 5, You're the same as your uncle. You're never going to amount to anything. Well, be happy with your lot. All these things we pick up, they become our vibration. We're just sending that out and getting the results. And eventually we get tired of it. We're like, I'm sick of the same things happening all over. Why did this keep happening to me? And then probably Bucko Jim will jump onto your phone with an ad or something, and then you start your whole journey. So like Claudia and Orla and even Aggie, I was talking to you just before we got on, we were laughing about the change in vibration that we can go through in the study, and how it can seem like everything's conspiring against you, and it can seem that everything is just like flowing. But I can tell you one thing, that when you're feeling stuck, you're magnificent then. When stuff around you seems like it's not working, you're as magnificent then as when you get your goal. It's all part of it. The failure or perceived failures are probably giving you something that you need 2 years from now that you don't know yet. I had a very difficult few days in probably, I think it was around June or July, but it helped me to encounter a gentleman called Darren who I've done some work with, and I referred him to a few of our clients because they needed his service. I went through that crap so that I could bring Darren into their life. That's the way I look at it. It's Steve Jobs makes a really good speech on YouTube from the commencement speech at Stanford University. I think it was back in 2005 or something like that, and maybe it was before that. And in the Stanford commencement speech, he says you can join the dots looking backwards, but you can never join the dots looking forward. And that's what I would say to you as well. You will be able to join the dots looking backwards. Never feel that the difficult times are, the world is caving in around you. There's probably something very important moving out of your life, and something else is making way for something better. That's just my experience with this stuff. Today's Napoleon Hill's birthday, 1883, I think he was born. I'm so grateful to him. And the spin-off, where is it? I'm very good at tidying. I'm so good at tidying now. Oh, there it is. I can never find anything when I tidy. Do you know that paradigm? There it is. Yes, I love this book, and I love that Bob signed it for my children. We did our will 2 weeks ago today, Tuesday. Today Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. 2 weeks ago, yesterday, June and I did our first will, and I haven't put this in it, but this is going to the 3 kids. Bob signed it for them, and he's the longest serving student of this book so far as we know. And he signed it, and he said to Layla, Dylan, and Joni, never take your eye off your goal. And that's it. When you keep your eye on your goal, you have a focus. I spoke to a wonderful gentleman today called John, and I commented on him. I feel he's a very focused man, and he actually wouldn't agree, but I believe he is. And when you're that focused on your goal, a lot of stuff will just not. You won't even see it anymore. You're like the horses in the race. Get the blinkers on. You're focused on the goal, and you won't see any more of the drama. You'll see it going around you, but you just won't be in harmony with it. So yeah, I'm grateful for Napoleon here as well. Claudia goes, I was up every morning writing gratitude. I had a refill pad full during the day. Fair play. Claire said, yes, this is Claire Declan. It was my post. I'm also happy and grateful to say I finally created my Facebook event, and I actually shared it to the Academy page just before the class. I hope that is okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm vibrating higher today. I'm thinking of good vibrations. That's what you're doing, Claire. It's giving me excitations. Oh, she is doing the song. Good vibrations. Beautiful. Myself and Claire are going to do a duet. We'll be like, last night myself and June made the kids totally cringe. We did Lionel Richie and Diana Ross, Endless Love. Oh my God, they were just like so marto. And then we started dancing, so there's another moment I'm grateful for. They're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But yeah, pick the wrong parents if they don't want to see some public displays of affection. Barry says over on YouTube, when paradigms stay in control, nothing changes. But you know what, Barry? Don't assume that's a bad thing. It's a good thing in the future for you, because I might be in the present as well. The paradigm is very misunderstood. People see it as a negative. If my house temperature goes below a certain level, the thermostat clicks in, the heating turns on, and it keeps my home really, really warm. So that's good. If you are, starting out on your work with paradigm shifting, like our clients do in the Academy, they sometimes things get a bit rough and a bit cranky and a bit like, they start looking for problems and stuff like that, or they start seeing difficulties around them. That is because this inner guidance system, this preservation mechanism, this paradigm that says, you are here, this is how much you earn, this is the type of waistline you have, and this is the type of man or woman you deserve to share your life with. This is this, and this is just the standard, right? And I'm in charge. And when you try and step out and do something different, you can feel scared, you can feel vulnerable, you kind of wobble, and you'll come back to this level, but you won't go below it. A good example I have for this is we're coming up soon to Christmas. So it's like, I saw a funny post the other day. Somebody said they're looking forward to be for like 6 weeks of being able to use. Go on, sure, it's Christmas. From mid-December to mid-January. Go on, sure, have another sweet, it's Christmas. An Irish coffee at 4 in the afternoon. Go on, sure, it's Christmas. Go on, sure, go on. Mince pie, third one today. Yeah, go on, it's Christmas. Now, what starts to happen is when we, indulge and all that, we'll get to a level where, like, all right, I need salad, I need runs, walks. So like the beaches are really popular on the week after New Year's. Everyone's out at the beaches and walking. They're walking the roads. So the thermostat is kicked in, and it's like, hey, we're eating more crap than we normally do. We need some healthy stuff, please. And we click in. So I see it the minute we give the children like something like a pizza or something that might be salty or whatever. I can have a drink. They're so parched. Like, or if you had, like, say, a bacon sandwich or something some Saturday morning, just why not? Really thirsty. Like, the balance has been shifted to eating a salty food. They need more liquid nutrition. It's the same with Christmas. You eat too much food, you're going to get healthy. So the paradigm works for you as well. Like, if you try and step above your where your paradigm thinks you want to be, even if it's for beautiful good, it kind of clicks in. And eventually, that's why we need mentorship and guidance and accountability, because when we make that shift, we'll nearly always come back down. But when you shift to that level, like I complimented this person, Orla, and like Sharon, and even Aggie there, just talking to you as well, Aggie. She was like, that was a long breakthrough from, for a few months, there was like a breakthrough. But the minute I answered the phone, I knew she was gone to this level. Her vision was here. Her paradigm was keeping her here. And then she's gone to there and just looks amazing, sounds amazing. Energy's up there totally. And you can see it on social media. Like, her energy's up there. But first of all, her vision went there. Her energy went there, and then the paradigm was like, no, you come back down here now, and you'll stay here because I'm in control. But she knows how to change it with writing, with study, with repetition, with asking for help, with listening to the help that she was given, and then now she's on this level, and now this is her new platform. So if her results drop, boom, her new paradigm pulls her up. Because a lot of people think that the paradigm is a bad thing, and the minute you try and change, it's in control, it pulls you back. When you set a new standard, when you set a brand new standard, when you start to drop below it again, it's going to make you disappointed. Like, I've got an amazing team of people, and they're high achievers. And when they're their own biggest critics, I never criticize. As far as I know, I don't think I ever criticize. They're tougher on themselves than I ever would be, and that's a good sign of who they are. But they have set their own standards, and if their results drop, they're not going to be happy. You look at the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo; he's won everything in the business. And if he's not winning, he's walking off that pitch an unhappy person. He's got everything, the world at his feet, the most followers on Instagram. Every time he tweets, he makes millions. Like, it's incredible. And if he's not winning, he's an unhappy camper. And that's because his paradigm and his standards are set there. And that's it. And the minute he sees something that's not in harmony with that, he's not happy to bring it up that. So paradigms work on your behalf. But I was 35 when I woke up to the truth about paradigms. And now I'm 6 years. Like I was saying, 5 years for a long time. I'm 6 years now, learning a new way. And when my standards start to drop, up she goes. Like, so the paradigm works for me, and it's going to work for me. As I said to Sharon earlier on, how cool is this that you've learned this now? It's going to work for her for the rest of her life. She'll never settle for standards below that anymore. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, I know who this is. She said to me, get happy. I was that person that was ready to strangle you. The only way to raise my vibration is to be able to attract more happiness, was to practice gratitude. This is very powerful material. Thank you, Deck. And thank you to Aggie. Look, people say like, oh, you wear your heart on your sleeve and it's inspiring and all that. And I think it is a good way of doing it, because I know what you're going through, and I knew what she was going through. And just like my coach, Doug, he knew what I was going through, and my paradigm wouldn't let me hear it. And he's like, okay. And I said it to her, and she was like, no, I don't think that's it. And I was like, okay. Because sometimes you got to figure it out on your own. And I knew what was going on, but she needed a little bit more time of maybe feeling in a vibration that she wasn't happy with, and eventually to go, do you know what? Nah. And she is that kind of lady. You can see the way she brings up her two boys, and the relationship she has with Chris, and the energy she spreads throughout the academy and throughout social media. all these clients going up to get their eyebrows done and have the selfie with her and everything. Like, she's a wonderful energy. I knew she wasn't going to stay down here for too long, but you know what, Aggie, one of my passwords, and I didn't get to say it to Liz Brown on Friday because the connection was terrible, but I wanted to say it to him that one of my passwords for a whole year was it's necessary. And another password for another year was it's possible, because that crap is necessary. That frustration, it's like get up in the morning, bang your foot off something, bang your head off the press, and then all of a sudden you look around and the kids have got porridge all over their uniform and you're just about to go out the door. That's going to be a part of your autobiography, Aggie. You know, it's part of it. Like, jeepers, there was a time there that every time I'd sat down to do something, the door would ring, the doorbell, or the phone would ring, or a delivery man. It was chaotic. I remember my business partner sitting on the other side of the screen one day. She was like, "Will we just forget about the meeting?" I was like, "I think we have to." There was like fellas in high-vis vests walking through the kitchen. It was mayhem what was going on, and we were trying to build a company at the time. So some of that stuff is necessary. Barry writes as psychocybernetics. He likes it. He said, "Thanks for the feedback." Okay, yeah, everyone says, like, I have to leave right now. Yeah, me too. We've gone way over and above. For everybody in the academy, I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. For our regular 7 to 8:30 slot, the hot seat. I'm really looking forward to it tonight, and I hope you are too. And then I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Okay, so day 4 is going to be streamed into whatever group you're in at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Day 4 is going to be streamed right into your screens at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And on Thursday, it's going to be at 8 a.m. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Thursday is going to be 8 a.m. And Friday will be announced tomorrow. But I think Friday will be at 7 a.m. And then Saturday and Sunday will be more reasonable times, maybe around 1 o'clock again. So just go with us, okay? We have a schedule, and this idea chose us, and we said we would put it in there. So you know what? Maybe it's not perfect, but I think that's perfect in its own sense, okay? Day 3, thank you. Day 3 is tomorrow at 1. Thank you very much. Okay, lots of love. Goodbye. Talk to you soon.